I mean, they have more outfielders than their aspirin in a bottle. Now with the universal DH, the Reds are able to play another outfielder. Who will it be? Well, you got a bunch to choose from. Aristides could play. I got a caller right now, though, and I was so hoping, of all the people who might call this morning, that I would hear from my partner in crime. And here he is, folks, the one, the only Chicago Cub fan, Phil Chaplin. Good morning, Chappie.
It's kind of like a high school reunion, right, Arnie?
Don't I wish? Don't I wish?
I tell you, I love your discussion. I love all the talk about DHs. And, of course, you knew as soon as you started talking about the Cubs, you were going to get a call from me, right?
That's why I hope to do that, right? I want your thoughts on that one.
Hey, I'll tell you, I mean, I love your Schwarber idea. I think it's great. But I think all in all, it really helps the Cubs because the one person that maybe people don't think about, people forget back in 2016 when the Cubs won the World Series, who was in the middle of that lineup? Who played outfield? Who played first base? Who played all over the field? Willson Contreras benefits the most from the added addition of a DH in the National League. Because if you think about it, they have Victor Caratini, who's a very competent defensive catcher, who David Ross loves, the Cubs organization love. It gives the Cubs the opportunity to split the DH between Contreras and Schwarber, and keep Contreras' knees healthy. Keep him hitting it in the middle of that lineup, and I think that really adds to what the Cubs are trying to do offensively. What do you think about that, Ron?
I think it's a great point. And when you've got look, I like Caratini's bat. I think the fact that he can play first base, it also gives Rizzo a day off in the field if you want to give him that. And let's face it, Rizzo's no spring chicken anymore. And that back of his could probably use a few days off at first base. So when you're not DHing Contreras, you could always DH Rizzo a little bit too. I think it's the equivalent now to what the Yankees did a few years ago when they rotated the DH spot. There wasn't one guy. There was a rotation of that. And I can see the Cubs being huge beneficiaries of that rule.
Yeah, I totally agree. And in all honesty, I mean, it just brings about, the Cubs have had an AL offense for the last handful of years. It just it's going to enable them to flex some of that offensive muscle that they have. And I totally agree. Caratini does look good at first base. He does have some offensive pop. He's not just the player behind the plate. He's someone that you could, when he's playing well, you could hit him theoretically in the middle of that lineup. So it just adds to the, and people forget, your boy Arnie, Miguel Amaya, they have young people in the minors that could be knocking on the door. If this were a perfect season, you could have seen Amaya at the end of this year, right?
Do you think Amaya may make it up, be on the taxi squad, maybe play some games if they go to this taxi squad idea? We know Amaya has a great glove, and if we have no minor league season, he's next in line. I mean, he's the heir waiting to Contreras, in my opinion. So I could see him getting some benefit. We talked about Franco earlier with Tampa. I could see Amaya being in a similar situation.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, you nailed it. The athleticism behind the plate, the defensive prowess, gives you the luxury of letting him develop offensively, right? Because as soon as he gets on that team, he's going to be the team's best catcher.
No doubt. And it will just give them yet another reason to DH Contreras. And I think it happens sooner than later, particularly if they deal with this service time, which is something I want to get into with you now for just a moment. In this agreement that they're going to have to iron out, I think if they don't address service time, they're really blowing an opportunity. And with them addressing it, and if this year doesn't count, can you imagine the interest in the baseball fan coming out to see all these young stars?
Yeah, I mean, it really opens up the floodgates, right? I mean, you can really kind of tout bringing up, any big prospect that anybody in that organization wants to see.
Well, let me ask you this. Now that you're not only an audio podcast star, but also a video podcast star, and let me just say, I thought about doing it, but I just don't think I'm worthy after watching you on there. But How do you like the video versus just the audio, Chappie?
I tell you, it's funny. I was talking with one of my friends last night about it. Anytime, when we went from Mixler to Spreaker, right, there was an adjustment.
A good adjustment, though, right?
It was a good adjustment. I love it. I think it's a great platform, and I love that we're moving forward, right?
Well, I haven't been trained yet. It's not anybody's fault but my own. I've just been really busy, but Andrea has reached out to me. I know she's in the chat room listening. I'm going to get with her hopefully this week and get my training on it. So look out, guys. You'll not only get to hear me, you'll get to see me, and that could be a scary thought. I just can let you know. But we'll see how it goes. Chappie, thanks for calling next Tuesday night. How about, let's try this. Once we get a schedule out there, it's you and me on a Tuesday night. Are you ready?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime, Lauren. You're always welcome. And in all honesty, it might be, you carried me enough with Spreaker. Maybe it's time for me to carry you on a Zoom early on.
Hey, I need to ride somebody's back. That's for sure. Hey, it's great hearing from the one, the only Phil Chaplin. Chappie, have a great day.
You too, buddy. Take care.
That's Phil Chaplin. He's on every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And he and I had talked about when were we going to get back together on our show. And we just brought it up again. As soon as we get a schedule and we have some things like that to talk about, we're going to be back on together on Tuesday nights. And I'm hoping by then it'll be Zoom time on the Lenny Melnick Fantasy Network. Andrea, Clarona, DeMazens, Ed Caprio, George, King Hat, Lenny, Phil, Rotorius, Kevin Hastings, and Taco. Great to see you in the chat room. All you guys listening on podcasts across this great nation of the United States of America and other places abroad. It's great to have you on this morning. We're talking about our schedule and the DH. And I tell you what we'll try to do going forward. Why don't we try on Thursdays? Just Thursdays, we'll have a call-in show like today. Okay, you guys can call in. We'll talk about things, the subject of the day, whether it's revenue sharing, schedules, trades, whatever. We'll make Thursday our call-in day. That'll just be designated for that. Okay, we'll try to do it on Mondays and Tuesdays. I'll bring you my show. You can listen, call in if you want. But Thursdays, we'll try to make that a call-in day. Okay? I want to thank Kevin Hastings, King Hap, Phil Chaplin for calling in, sharing their great insight this morning. All of you who've listened, I want you to have a great Thursday. Join me Monday for Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports right back here on the Lenny Melnick Fantasy Sports Network. Have a great day, everybody.